So we've seen the built-in reports in action from the report ribbon using any one of the subcategories or going into custom, more reports, and then choosing it from a particular subcategory. So it's the same thing at the end of the day. Now, if those reports don't quite meet what you're after, there is some control over creating a new report. So there's a little drop down here, and there are effectively 3 new reports. There is a blank one, but there isn't much you can do with the blank one. If I were to choose the chart option, I need to give my report a name, Guy's Kitchen Report 1. And you can see that I get some data straight away. So on the right here, I can choose what I want to look at. Currently, it's giving me the name of the tasks, the actual work, the remaining work, and the baseline work for some of my tasks. I could change the filtering. It currently says active tasks. Let's say all tasks. I could change it to resources, fields that I wish to see. I'm currently seeing actual work for each resource. Regular work, remaining work. Let's take the remaining work off. I'm seeing the work for each of my resources. So whichever fields you choose from here, they appear here, so you can see what you're making use of. In here, you can see I've got the fields for the resources. If I choose tasks, now I have the tasks, which only gives me the name and the ID. Take the remaining work out. So I'm just seeing the actual work, so the work that's being carried out, as opposed to the work, which is what should be the amount of work for each of the relevant tasks. I have a filter option, group option, and then outlining if I'm choosing grouping, and even a sort. So I could sort by the actual work ascending. The task with the most work is at the left hand side. Change that to descending, and the task with the most work is at the right hand side. Change that to work. So I've got some type of control. Obviously, this is not a built-in report, but the data that feeds it is your data. You'll see you've got a label here, which you can move. You can even make changes within that label. And I can move this part of the report, which is my little chart. Now, on the Chart Tools design ribbon that is here, only when I've got the chart selected, notice, because it's context sensitive, I can change the color scheme, change the style, change the layout using the quick layout option. So it gives me different options here. So I can even click and put a bit of label in for the axes, and I can add further chart elements depending on what might be available. So there's grid lines, error bars, data tables, data labels. Those of you used to using Excel will spot that this is exactly the same chart options, which allows you to also format. So I've got outlines and fills. You're totally in charge here, even the chart type. And again, you can see very much like Excel, change to a line, change to a pie, pie over pie. So actual work pie there. Okay. Probably not the appropriate pie chart, but a donut might work. There we go. So you've got a lot of control over this custom chart in your own report. So this is my own report. It's now saved within the Microsoft project file. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to say, please save this report, Microsoft project. It is saved. If I now click back to the Gantt chart and come back to report, and in the custom drop down, I can see there's Guy's Kitchen Report 1. So any stage I can go back to that report and see where I'm at. I can even add further objects to this report using the design option of the report tools. I can add a table, text box, a shape, see all the same shapes that you would expect, an image, so I could insert a logo, for example, or even insert another chart. So I choose the chart, choose the chart type, and then once I get a chart type, you can see it gives me some default data here on the right hand side, but then I can control that. So by placing the chart where I want it to go, and then deciding what I would like out of the data options, it's by default giving me the work for each of my tasks, which are then effectively broken up, where I can make this part the resources, and I can then get a joiner there as the biggest amount of work by the looks of things. And obviously I would then need to change the label. You can really quite customize the report that you've created yourself. It's saved with the project and it's printable just as the others were printable that you haven't created yourself by simply going to File, Print. We can see that it fits down a piece of paper, and then I potentially would maybe export to a PDF. So this is a custom report. You can create as many custom reports as you want of your own, and they will all sit in the report on the custom just under this section here. Under the more reports, they're under the custom. So you could have potentially hundreds if you wanted to. Now, if you ever need to get rid of a report, that's not such a straightforward process. We can rename from the report tools by going to Manage, Rename Report, and there's Guy's Kitchen Report. So I could change that to Guy's Kitchen Report Summary. Okay. And then when I look back under the report list, I can see it's now got a new name. So I can rename, but what I can't do is get rid of. I can go here, Manage, and bring up the organizer. But once I go into the organizer, I've actually got this report open. I can't delete it. So what we need to do is go back to another view, so in this case the Gantt chart, and go to the organizer in a different way. So by going to File, Organizer, then come into the Reports section. Here's the reports that are located, my custom reports effectively, and if I want to get rid of this one, I can simply delete it. Are you sure? I am. Close, back, report, custom, and it's no longer there. So I can create my own reports using New Report. One of the 4 default options, one's a chart, one's a table, one's a comparison. You could go with the blank, but then you're creating yourself a nothing report into which you've then got to insert the chart or the table of your choice. So you just need to build it from scratch. Or the easy option is hopefully one of the default built-in ones will meet the needs that you're after. Potentially project overview. I do really quite like the project overview one as a built-in report. So those are the reports that come with Microsoft Project and the ability to create your own reports.